Hi, my name is Charlotte Smith, and this is my reflection for my diagnostics test for Unit 1 of MGMT 3100. So before I begin with the reflection, I kind of just wanted to give a quick overview of my results. So, my strongest career interests were in social, methodical, and innovative interests. And then for abilities, I scored highest in verbal ability, finger dexterity, and general learning ability. So most of my career suggestions ended up being people-focused jobs. So for example, counselors, teacher assistants, or community service workers were some of the options I was given. So yeah, with that, here are some of my thoughts on the results I got. I honestly wasn't too surprised by the results I got, just because I honestly expected to score high in the social interests category, just because I really enjoy helping people and working with others, and that's something I've known for a long time I'd like to be part of my career. So yeah, that wasn't too surprising. But what was a little bit surprising was how high I scored in the methodical category, just because I wouldn't generally think of myself as like a super methodical or structured person. But then once I thought about it a little bit more, I kind of realized that I really do thrive when it comes to having a set routine and having clear goals and steps to follow. So I definitely wouldn't mind if that was the nature of my career in the future. That would be fine with me for sure. So moving on, some of the results gave me some ideas for career paths that line up with some of my strengths. So some of these I had kind of already thought of before I did these tests, but some of them were new, so that was interesting. So yeah, most of the suggestions connected to roles where communication and support are really important. So like I kind of mentioned before, counselor roles, teaching roles, and then actually one of the more specific job suggestions was a speech language pathologist, which I thought was really interesting just because I'm actually minoring in linguistics at the university. So I thought that was a kind of cool parallel there. So yeah, and then also since my strongest ability was verbal, it makes sense to me that I do well in jobs where explaining and listening and connecting with others are like a really big part of that job. So yeah, and I just also thought it was really cool. What I really liked about it was that it showed me that I could find a career where I'm not just using the skills that I have, but also making a real difference in people's lives. Because like I mentioned before, like helping people and contributing in a positive way to people's lives, that's something I've known that I want to be part of my career for a very long time. So I like that, my results were kind of mirroring that. I thought that was cool. And then finally, some of the things I kind of want to explore this semester based on my results were kind of like figuring out what type of work environment I'd actually thrive in kind of like a long-term situation. So I would want to explore if I would prefer something, more structured and routine, something more like office 9 to 5 type job, or if I'd want something more innovative and flexible. That's something I'm still, unsure about. I think that's a bit of lack of experience in both areas as well. So that's just something I'll have to work on. And then I also want to think about how my transferable skills like communication and adaptability could apply to jobs I haven't even considered yet. So like I said, a lot of my results kind of confirmed the ideas I already had about my career aspirations. So I'd like to kind of explore some career options that I hadn't maybe thought about before. So that's something I'd like to incorporate. And overall, I just want to focus on figuring out not just what I'd be good at, but what would, like I said, keep me motivated and working well long term. So yeah, overall, this experience gave me a really better understanding of my strengths and interests, and they've opened me up to ideas for new future careers. So that's really cool too. Thanks so much for listening.